Welcome to Things Invest. We talk about investing, finance, and professional development. It's the current time of 9:10 a.m. on the Eastern Time on December 5th. Hope you guys have a good week so far. With respect to Ethereum current trade, $2,205. That's about close to 1% so far. On the overall market, we are consolidating, gliding, and with respect to Ethereum specifically, for the last couple of days and weeks since the October, so it's been weeks now. Now it's like in December. We've been elevating from the 1550 mark. Now we are at the 2,205 mark. Obviously, on a technical perspective, we've been understanding that it was oscillating for quite some time, but we were forming this downward wedge that eventually it translates into upward pump, which we have clearly, draw this out right here on the arch. But now the question is like, are we gonna keep this going? How long is the rocket ship's gonna extend before it falls flat on our face? And where will this rocket ship be landing to going forward? So we can, clearly dissect this piece by piece in a technical perspective. And also with respect to Bitcoin's also elevating because they are brothers and sisters and they trade very comparably on par. But with respect to the next steps for Bitcoin or Ethereum, where are we going? And also we will talk about that on a high level with respect to the equity market as well. Where are we going with respect to all of these specific macro drivers? So let's take a look at Ethereum first. On a daily perspective, you could see that we have elevated for quite some time. This long, basically takeoff runway. The airplane definitely reached above 2,250, which is a technical level based on historical depictions. It was the previous level of basically long ago. You could see that it's kind of more fused somewhere around here back in May in 2022, so last year. So now we are trying to get back up into horse to see can we keep going. But on a daily front, you could see that on how extended we are with the 67 on the 70. We formed a golden cross recently, but you could see that the inertia has already kind of curved down. So that means it's not showing a strong level of sustainability. And we can confirm that further with the weekly front. The weekly front is also extended as 66 out of 70, and if you look at that historically, every single time we get somewhere around like the level that we're at right now is 65, 70. The highest we ever got into was somewhere like back in the day in September 2021. That the likelihood for us to get above 2,250 to the next level of, let's take a look, right, to somewhere around like 2,550 to 2,600 is a pretty big jump from here. And I think with respect to the extensions that we're already at, the likelihood of keep going would be, it's getting slimmer and slimmer by days. And also with respect to this upward wedge is a sign of bullishness, but you will only get to a certain level of peak as obviously the technical gets extended. You'll eventually drop. It's a reason why there's a line that I've drawn here, because it's to show that we are basically waiting for the rocket ship to fall any days now to back to the next level of support, which is basically 1850 from here. On a monthly, it's not really showing all the best representations for understanding the technical, but you're definitely in the winter market for the Ethereum side of the spectrum. On a Bitcoin, I would say it's a similar verbiage. On a daily, you could see that we're very extended as 80 out of 70. I mean, how much more can I explain, right? And on a weekly, you could also understand that we're at the 80 out of 70. So if you buy at a relatively extended level, the risk is high for you, right? So it's definitely not logical to be getting in when everything is super rosy and super pumped up, because the risk is not in your favor. And on the monthly front, it's also a little bit extended, right? 61 out of 70s relative to Ethereum. So definitely not advisable to be getting in right now. And the level that we are at right now at the 41,008, basically 500, is a level of substantive resistance, which we have seen a blockade right here. So what we're supposed to do is basically form this cup, which we are seeing it right now, and then a handle subsequently coming back down to somewhere more earth tone like at the 35,000 mark, which is something we should do to progress upward from here. And then on the equity front, you could see that this green candle, and we're still levitating upward because we are in Santa Claus rally is fully in effect right now. It's end of the year, December 5th, right? We're basically half of the month out already, because December is basically like half of month, because people are gonna be taking off sometime soon on the week of the 18th already, so traders are not probably gonna be as active as they were before. But also fund managers, they want to get their pump up on the profit perspective to make their portfolio look better by year end. So you're seeing a lot of like Santa Claus rally driving the market to go up, and obviously retail investors going to chase in as well. And you can see that clearly we're forming a approximating all-time high. But is that sustainable? You can see that daily is very extended. You see this big whale hump at the 70 out of 70, so definitely very extended, and also on the weekly is also showing something very comparable. We formed a golden cross recently, but is this going to be sustainable? We are testing all-time high, and we are going to reach all-time high, but it's not going to be like a sustainable all-time high, and we're just going to keep going from there, right? This is very artificial looking, obviously matching with the timing of the Santa Claus rally, so it's logical why this is the way it's performing at the moment. And last but not least, on the monthly front, the months is actually looking more bearish than bullish. We are still consolidating on a sideways fashion at the 60 out of 70, so definitely not advisable in terms of getting in at the moment. So across the spectrum, I would say the market is definitely, pumping, but is it a healthy pump that's sustainable? I think this is a Santa Claus rally that's being, in effect among the whole entire spectrum. So my advice is that because of how extended we are on a technical level, probably makes sense to take some profit off the table. And I believe that's advisable. Buying it at these level definitely, convey a high level of risk tolerance, but to each his own, right? But if you think about holding this for long term, it's definitely something it's not a kind of, you don't have to kind of think about it if you hold it for 5-10 years out. But if you want to be an investor at in a relatively better level, I think better level will come. So I appreciate you for joining me, and I hope you have a good day, and check you on the next one. Take care.